we deal in facts, not innuendos or conclusions that we make. We're just dealing with facts. Again, all those facts will come out, but right now we know that she was there, and then she wasn't, and now she's home, which is the result we wanted, and all those other things in between we'll figure out.
So I guess it's just F that little kid on the side of the road. I guess it's just to hell with that little kid that is supposedly on the side of the road being used as bait by kidnappers. Don't worry about the kid. We're not going to talk about the kid. No one's looking for the kid. No one gives a damn about the kid, right? And then I keep seeing people say the same thing over and over and over again online. Carlee Russell was found safe, and that is all that matters. I have to disagree, because you see, Carlee's story does not just involve Carlee. Carlee's story also involves a 3 to 4 year old child that is supposedly on the side of the road being used by bad people as bait to try to lure women out of their cars so they could kidnap them. So don't sit here and say, oh, Carlee's safe and she's found, that's all that matters. No, because Carlee's story involves a child, and I think I and others would like to know, where is this child? Is anyone looking for this child? Is this child okay? Or do y'all just not give a damn about the child? And then let's take it one step further. People are saying, Carlee is safe. Carlee is safe. How? You tell me how Carlee is safe. Really use your freaking noodle, okay? Use your noodle, people. You want me to believe that Carlee is safe, yet her supposed abductors are on the loose? You really think that Carlee is safe right now when supposedly her kidnappers decided that they were going to drop her off at her house? Her kidnappers know where she lives. They know the neighborhood. They dropped her off at home. But Carlee's safe, right? It lets me know that people don't really care about Carlee's safety. People damn sure don't care about the child on the side of the road. People are just trying to squash the conversation. They are trying to squash all of the questions being asked because they know right now that it's not looking good, that something really looks suspicious here. I'm not saying it's a hoax, but it damn sure does not look like a credible story. So people are trying to go ahead and shut people down from talking about it because they know, just like we all know, that something isn't right here. And I've heard it time and time again on social media. If you ask questions, oh, you're a racist for asking questions. Listen, that nonsense works on woke liberal white women. It's not going to work on me. I damn sure want to know where that child is. And I actually care about Carlee Russell's safety. So if her story is true, then I damn sure would like to know that law enforcement is out here trying to find the people that kidnapped her that, apparently know where she lives. Okay? So all of this, don't ask questions, don't say this, don't say that. It's just coming from people who are scared about the truth getting out because they wanted to run with a certain narrative, and that narrative is crumbling by the moment. By the millisecond, the narrative is crumbling. So now it's racist. First, it was no one talks about missing black women enough. We need to spread more awareness about missing black women. And for the record, I always try to do that. If you go look back on my channel, a lot of the missing persons cases I cover, it's people who aren't white. Because I know it's true that oftentimes people who aren't white, when they go missing, they don't get as much media coverage. So I agree with that. But don't sit here and say, oh, no one talks about missing black women enough. And then when they do, you try to shut people down from finding out the truth about this case. The public deserves to know if there are human traffickers on the loose in Hoover, Alabama, using a child as bait on the side of the road. People deserve to know. Yet there has not been a single word about this child. This whole story caught wind. It caught fire because we heard this sad tale about a woman who was compassionate enough. She found it in her heart to stop on the side of the road to try to help a child when no one else would. Yet here we are, she's been found, she's okay, she's out of the hospital, no mention of the child that you were so compassionate about pulling over to rescue, no mention of this child. I would think that if Carlee has a big heart and she really stopped to save a child and then something crazy happened in the process, I would think that Carlee, just like all of us, would want to know, where's the child, what happened to the child, is the child okay? Because remember, that's what started the story in the first place. The fact that supposedly Carlee was very concerned about a child on the side of the road. So I would like to know, where did all of that concern go? Is she still concerned? Is anyone else concerned? Is anyone asking questions? Or is everyone afraid to literally talk about this case because they don't want weirdos online claiming, you're racist for questioning this? No, I don't care about any of that nonsense. I have questions, and these questions need to be answered. Not for me, but for the general public. And we all damn sure want to know what happened to that child, if that child even exists. But unfortunately, if you go online, no one's really worried about the kidnappers. No one's worried about the kid. They're just worried in turning this into another racial debate. When everyone was worried about Carlee. Everyone from different religions, different races, different states, cities, backgrounds, people from other countries were worried about Carlee. Yet now people are just trying to turn it into a race debate. That, it's because Carlee's skin color that people are questioning where this toddler is that was supposedly on the side of the road. It's because of Carlee's skin color that people are wondering, hey, is there human traffickers out here? It's so dumb, and I hate that race has to be brought in to all of these type of situations. These situations, missing people cases, it's something that brings us all together. It's something that's supposed to bring us all together. Yet this Carlee Russell case is being used by race baiters to go ahead and sow more division. I can tell you that after this case, there are going to be a lot of people out here that are no longer going to want to look into cases like this because they're being accused of being racist and being bad people simply because they're asking questions about the child and what have you. But yeah, let's not sit here and pretend like you care about Carlee Russell's safety and that, Carlee Russell is safe, because if you believe the story that is out there, then it's very obvious that Carlee is not safe at all. The kidnappers are on the loose, and they dropped her right in her neighborhood. I mean, what in the hell? It's like everyone's trying to be so combative. Everyone is trying to shut down constructive dialogue here. They're trying to use race to shut down constructive dialogue. That happens often in this country. It's sickening, but it's happening in this missing persons case. And all of the updates that are coming out, news outlets are running clips and updates, and everyone's just shying away from the truth. Everyone's just pretending like we're going to forget about the toddler on the side of the road and all of that madness. Let's go ahead and play a news clip real quick. Hit that thumbs up button. I'm going to roll this footage, and then I'll be back with more thoughts.
And Hoover police now say Carlee Russell returned home on foot and was taken to the hospital for evaluation. Let's bring in ABC News contributor, former FBI agent Brad Garrett for more. Brad, this is an eerie story. Police say Russell called 911 to report a toddler walking on the side of the interstate, and then minutes later she vanished. What do you make of that?
Odd, for starters. And if you arrive at the scene and you find the car, the purse, the wig, the keys, the cell phone, etc., and know her, but also, why is it outside the car? I'll get to that in a second. But the point being is there's nothing, at least that's found at the scene initially, that sort of supports a woman calling about a toddler on the side of the road, which presumably she should be there or in close proximity there. The police were there of their own reporting in about 5 minutes. So there's a huge piece of information. I mean, why would she make that up? We can talk about possibilities if in fact that's true. Did somebody pick her up? Did she get picked up on CCTV walking in a direction or getting into a vehicle after she makes the 911 call? A lot of big holes in this story, Diane.
So what does this stage of the investigation look like?
So what you want to do is literally, frame by frame, fill the hours from the day that she made the 911 call until she mysteriously appears back at her house Saturday night. Where was she? What did she do? Who did she talk to? What stores did she go into? When you get stories you can't fill in the blanks, Diane, then you have to corroborate like every hour of the person's life during that time period. Not easy to do sometimes. But if this is a hoax or part of it is made up, you should be able to break that down through investigation and maybe even in a sort of intense interview with her as to fill in the blanks. But it's interesting because the police really haven't given us any details, and now it's been 2 days since she returned.
So what do investigators want to hear from Carlee Russell?
So first of all, is the 911 call, is it true? In other words, is it true? Obviously, she made it, but is it true that there was a toddler along the road and that you were trying to get the police to come out to deal with this toddler? What's that story all about? Why did you leave the scene? Why is your purse, keys, cell phone, etc., outside the car? And where did you go? Did you get in another vehicle? Did you walk to a particular location? And then where were you for at least 2 days?
So obviously, no one really knows what's going on here except for Carlee, her supposed kidnappers, and the mysterious, possibly non-existent child on the side of the road / possible midget pretending to be a child on the side of the road. Those are the only people who know what happened here. No one else knows, and everyone is afraid to ask questions because the racial situation has been brought into play. The race card has been brought into play, so everyone's pretending like they don't have constructive questions to ask, and everyone's sitting around twiddling their thumbs while supposedly there's kidnappers on the loose and a child that these kidnappers are using as bait. Everyone's twiddling their thumbs because we don't want to be accused of being an ist. We don't want any of that to happen, so we're just going to sit here and play dumb. I'm not here to sit here and play stupid with any of you people on the internet, okay? But one of my first theories when all of this went down is that maybe it was some type of mental health episode. But the more I think about it, I don't necessarily think that that's the case, because at the end of the day, you know, Carlee was on the phone. She knew to call law enforcement. She was on the phone with her family. You would think that her family would sense, hey, you know, throughout the conversation that maybe you're having some type of, you know, mental breakdown. But no, everything seemed to be fine. She went and got food. She called 911. She's on the phone with her family. And don't get me wrong, maybe there was some type of mental breakdown. I'm not here to say that there wasn't. But the fact that she called 911, she just got food, she's on the phone with family, you would think that there would be some signs of a mental breakdown happening there. There, supposedly, as far as I know, there was no signs of that. So that makes me believe that maybe there was not any type of mental health episode involved. So what do you all think happened here? Is it a hoax, or was Carlee kidnapped by someone waiting on the side of that road that just happened to get away so quickly that law enforcement couldn't find them, even though they appeared? Law enforcement arrived like 4 minutes later. Look, if something happened to Carlee, and I'm not here to tell you that it didn't, because we don't know yet, if something happened to her, then I would have to believe that someone in one of those houses behind that little wooded area would be responsible. I don't really think there's enough time to get away. For one, we got the footage there. We don't see any struggle. There's definitely no cars pulling up and taking Carlee away. So if anything happened, I would think that maybe someone snatched Carlee and took her into one of those houses that's right there behind the wooded area. And maybe she escaped after 48 hours. According to her boyfriend, she fought for her life for 48 hours straight and escaped. But according to the hospital, they evaluated her and released her. No injuries. No serious injuries. If there was some type of mental health breakdown, usually they would put her on a hold. You know, if you're having a mental health crisis, the hospital will usually put a hold on you. No hold. Checked her in, checked her out, let her go in a matter of hours. So your guess is as good as mine. regardless of what happened here, I would be totally ready and willing to move on from the story as long as we get clarification that this toddler is either okay or he didn't exist and that there's no threat to the public. Law enforcement isn't going to come out and straight up say it for some reason because they're pussyfooting around, twiddling their thumbs as well because they don't want to be accused of anything. So everyone is kind of playing stupid in this story. It is what it is. We'll find out eventually, hopefully. But right now, you know, I'm hoping, I mean, how can I put this? On one hand, I hope this is not a hoax. But at the same time, it's like I hope that there isn't a child out here being used as bait in Hoover, Alabama. I hope there aren't kidnappers out here on the loose that no one seems to care about. You know, so it's a really difficult situation here. And, you know, I don't want to say too much. And I know you all have your theories. Just go ahead and let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and I'll talk to you all in the next video.